So what we just discussed was that our Wednesday class will now happen from next week onwards on Tuesdays 4 to 5:20 p.m. This week, my slot for Tuesday 4 to 5:20 p.m. is already blocked, so I cannot have a class tomorrow. So instead of tomorrow's class, we have a class on Wednesday 4 to 5:20 p.m. This week, Wednesday is falling on Saturday because this Wednesday is a holiday. So this week's second class is going to happen on Wednesday 4 to 5:20 p.m. Okay. So this is the regular class, which would have otherwise happened on Saturday 8:30 a.m. to 9:50 a.m. It will now happen on Saturday at 4 to 5:20 p.m. Is that okay? So Anuj is asking in the chat box if this is a regular class. Yes, this is a regular class. We will move ahead with the syllabus. Okay, so Saturday, just that instead of Saturday 8:30 to 9:50 a.m., this time we will be having this class on Saturday 4 to 5:20 p.m.
Sir, regarding that Wednesday timetable, so in case there is a substitute class, actually I'm having a weekly meet on from 5. So in that case, it can be shifted 30 minutes means later, right?
Later, matlab?
Sir, वो project का weekly meet रहता है 5
The project weekly meets that you manage separately, Devjit. This is the class.
Okay, so in case we are having any substitute class, so it can be shifted to later, right? Okay.
Okay, so that you manage separately. This is CIIPS class. This week's class, which was supposed to happen on Saturday 8:30 to 9:50, will happen on Saturday at 4 to 5:20 p.m. So no, we have only two classes this week. One class is happening now, and the other class will happen on Saturday at 4 to 5:20 p.m. Anuj, why is this confusion of having three classes this week?
So I think the confusion is because of the substitute class, because we are thinking that we have a class on Monday and Tuesday for the given timings, and then on Wednesday there is a substitute class. So
substitute means when the class on Monday or Tuesday is not happening, then we will have the class in the substitute class slot.
So I think that was the reason of the confusion.
Okay. So subsequently, from next week onwards, we will have classes on Mondays and Tuesdays. This week, because Tuesday class is not possible, I've already committed to some other meetings, which cannot be shifted. Since Tuesday class is not possible, so we will have it in the regular substitute class time, which now falls on Saturday 4 to 5:20 p.m. for this particular week. Okay. We also came up with a calendar for office hours. So any confusion regarding class timings? Any concerns regarding class timings now? Because after this is frozen.
So from the next week, it will be Tuesdays 4 to 5:20, right?
Yes.
There will be
Yes. Okay. Then we also came up with a kind of a calendar for office hours. So we have 7 TAs in this course as of now, and this is how our office hours are distributed. My office hours will be on Monday 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Do you want a set of office hours today? Let's have them. Okay, so we will have office hours today also, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. And then there, as I mentioned, I will also be willing to keep one more set of office hours, which will be on demand. Once your projects start, or once you start to use the knowledge of this course in your research projects or in your research groups later, if you need any help, you can request me for an office hours, and I will be happy to make myself available. Okay, I will announce that in the Google Classroom also, so that if there are others also who are interested, they can also join. Is that okay?
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, Biman.
Sir, the TA office hours is like completely dedicated for doubt clearing, or is there any activities going to happen? Or
if you have any questions related to what has been progressing in the course, TA office hours are there to help you, handhold you, support you. So जितना आपको creativity simple और आसान लग रहा हो सकता है, you will realize that once we enter into projects, you will need a lot of hand holding. That is
Yes.
why we have tried to spread out TARs throughout the week. And in fact, Riba was very kind enough to make himself available even in the night, Friday 10:30 to 11:30 p.m. So we've tried to keep ourselves available for a wide range of timings so that we can handhold you in your projects and you can do well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Any concerns about the office hours?
So office hours links will be posted on Classroom, no?
Yes, the office hours links will be posted on the Classroom. So what we will do is we will जो class description होता है, in the class
Hmm.
description, we
Yes,
will
sir.
put the office hours links for all the 8 of us,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
including me.
And
We will put the link there itself.
also, sir, have you decided the number of students per group in the project?
It will be, I think, 4 to 5.
Okay.
As of now, because the enrollment looks to be something like more than 100,
Hmm.
so we will have to keep it 4 to 5
Okay,
at
sir.
least.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. So with this thing handled, now I want you to pull out a pen and a paper. I know this is so strange, ना इतने सालों में इतने टाइम में पेन पेपर पे तो कहाँ पे कोई क्लास में आपने काम करा है, but immediately arrange a pen and a paper for yourself. Immediately, there's something I want you to do. Once you have a pen and a paper with you, please put a +1 in the chat window. Great. So all of you know what baking soda is? What is baking soda? Baking soda. What is baking soda? I'm not asking for the chemical formula. What do you understand by the English term baking soda?
So something that we use to for baking and stuff.
Okay. So
So
do
it
you
is
remember
used
the
to make
chemical formula?
cakes.
Make cakes. Okay. So do you remember the formula also? No.
Yes, sir. Sodium hydrogen
Sodium
carbonate.
bicarbonate.
Sodium bicarbonate.
NaCO3.
Yes, NaHCO3. Great. So इतना chemistry हम सब ने school level पे पढ़ा हुआ है. Even though we do not have a chemical engineering branch in our institute. So we have baking soda. What I want you to do is now I see almost all of you have a pen and a paper also with you. What I want you to do is I want you to list down as many uses as possible of baking soda in 60 seconds, and your time starts now. As many uses as possible of baking soda. Just list them down. $30 seconds gone. $15 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Stop. Now, how many of us could identify more than 20 uses of baking soda? Put a +1 in the chat window, or +20 in the chat window. Those of you who could identify more than 20 uses of baking soda, put a +20 in the chat window. No one? More than 10? Put a +10 in the chat window. More than 10 भी नहीं है? Okay. 9. Put a +9. 8. Okay, Utsav. Anyone else with 8? So Utsav, can you speak out some of the uses that you have listed?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So treating acidity
Okay,
in drink with water, volcano experiments,
very good.
baking soda, like means baking cakes,
Okay, baking cakes,
cleaning utensils.
cleaning utensils, great.
I used to wash shoes with baking soda.
Oh, very interesting. Cleaning shoes.
Clogged drains. Clogged drains. I used to pour the baking soda on clogged drains.
Okay, okay, okay. Cleaning the drains, जो आपके drain pipes होते हैं उनको clean करने
Yeah.
के लिए. Okay, interesting.
And cleaning any greasy material.
Okay,
Yeah, so these were 8 which I wrote.
very interesting. So 7, how many people have 7? Okay, Viman,
Yes sir.
कौन से?
So माउथ वॉश करने के लिए,
Okay,
टीथ व्हाइटनर,
teeth whitener. Okay,
डिओड्रेंट,
dew. Okay,
सॉरी डिटर्जेंट, सॉरी,
detergent. Okay,
एयर फ्रेशनर,
okay,
एंड किचन क्लीन करने के लिए,
kitchen tiles.
यस,
Okay,
कारपेट, स्ट्रेन रिमूवर,
okay, very good.
एंड बाथरूम को क्लीन करने के लिए.
Bathroom tiles. Okay, very nice. Anyone else with 7? Okay, 6. Yes. Oh, Slavanya, 7. Give us some examples.
So most examples were used.
कुछ नहीं होता.
Baking, teeth whitener, utensils clean करने के लिए, and sometimes क्या कहते हैं, mouth wash, air freshener, laundry, and like those volcano experiments that we used to do as students.
Okay. So अगर हम अभी देखें तो amongst us अभी हमने यहाँ पे अराउंड एटलीस्ट 15-16 यूजर्स तो निकाल लिए है ना. सो अब अगर वी गो बैक, you know, if we shut down and I say okay, let us take another 30 seconds to add more users, so all of us should exceed 15. Am I right? So I will give you another 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds. List down as many uses of baking soda as possible. Add to your list. Don't repeat the same things that you already have, but you can add to the list which others have just mentioned, and you can build more over them. Okay, 30 seconds. Time starts now. As many uses of baking soda as possible. $15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay. Now more than 20. 15 तो हमने अभी गिन ही लिए थे ना. So उनके ऊपर build करके people who more than 20. अभी भी नहीं. Okay.
I could add 5 more to my list.
Okay. कौन से बताओ?
Sir, one is pesticide.
Pesticide. Okay.
And one is fire extinguisher.
Okay.
One is it can be used to kill weeds like unwanted plants which grow in the And then one, it can be used for treating burns, like when you get burns in your hand. And then also like if you have itchy skin or maybe sunburn, then it can be used.
Okay, great, Aman. So how many total users are now, Aman, for you?
So total now I have 11.
You have 11 now.
Yeah,
Okay.
6 previous and 5 now.
Okay. So 15, how many of us have? So Aman, why did you not add the earlier 15 that we just listed?
Sir, I mean, we had to add to our list, no? Or
But
we had.
you could directly add those also in your list, no?
Okay,
Who's talking?
then it is 15 plus 5, 20. If
No,
I
no,
add.
no, 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 no. Not, now you have not done it. Abhi to 11 hi hai. Shakti, yes. Which new users?
New users, some I have total 16. And, new users are treating acidity.
ये तो हो गया था. चलो. Treating acidity and
Sir, mouth ulcers, chale.
ulcers bhi. Okay, very nice.
And sir, this is rest are covered.
Rest were already there.
Yes.
So now in those terms, as a group, we have how many new ideas? At least 22. 22 ideas each one of you knows now. So let me give you another 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds. List down. You can build over these ideas. You can come up with many more users. Okay. I will also give you some more prompts when we break out now. So 30 seconds, as many users of baking soda, add to your list. Starts now. Think about what the texture of baking soda is. How can you use that texture somewhere? What is the color of baking soda? How could you use that color? Think about the fog outside. Think about the doors, the locks. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay. Now people with more than 25 ideas. No one? More than 20 ideas? अब तो होंगे यार. Okay, Deepak is adding that it is used in bombs, but fine. How many ideas did you get, Deepak? Shakti is now at 20 ideas. Okay. Anyone else at 20 or more? Okay. So what is happening here? You know, when this experiment was done with a adult group in HP, they got 83 ideas. A school group, 5th class, came up with 174. An average adult would come at around 13. And you know, one of the ideas that this school group came up with, mix the baking soda with red dye, gargle with it, and pretend that you have rabies on Halloween night. Interesting. So what to do? What is happening here? The school group came up with so many ideas and an adult average is only at 13. What is happening?
They were creative with their uses.
A child's imagination is unstoppable. They won't, well, there's not a stopping point to it. So they free flow thought process is there.
So what is the age at which do you think creativity peaks?
15, 16.
That before the teenage years?
Around 12, 13, like just before the
11 to
teenage
12.
starts.
Yeah.
11 to 12.
Yeah.
Why? Why then?
So because the brain is still developing even after we are born.
So and also external pressure of many things is not there till then.
So there is still curiosity in them.
So अब आप लोगों की curiosity मर चुकी है.
By that age, like you don't have any realistic boundaries set in your mind to, have a structured thinking. So you can just let your imagination go wild and think about anything.
Okay, Ritik. So Anshul is saying 5 to 8 in age of 5 to 8 in the chat window. Why not 5 to 8? Why 11 to 13? Why not 5 to 8?
Sir, I want to add something to this.
Yeah.
So there is a, I forgot the name of the institute. So there is a research, like they had done around like 20 years of research, like when this child brain is going to develop. So they found out that it's going to develop between 0 to 5. And like in between, whoever is doing well, the rest of the life, they achieve more compared to the others, like who did like not well actually. So in my point of view, like it will be between 0 to 5 actually, even less than that.
Okay. So Biman is saying that a child who is less than 5 years of age would actually be most creative. What does creativity mean?
Brain development.
My question is, when are you most creative? What age is the child most creative? What age is a person, human being, most creative? That is my question. Not even, I have not used the word child also.
Okay.
I'm not asking about brain development. I'm asking about what age is one most creative.
Sir, it's the same as you rightly mentioned, maybe around 10 to 13 years, somewhere between that.
Yeah. Why not 5 to 8? क्योंकि ब्रेन तो जैसा अभी विमान ने बताया कि 5 साल तक इट्स डेवलप्ड, उसके बाद no new neurons get added. This is absolutely right. Up till 5 years of age, new neurons can actually be added. Beyond 5, the rate of degradation of number of neurons actually speeds up. And beyond 40 तो और बढ़ जाता है. 60 के बाद और बढ़ जाता है degradation, unless you trigger your brain in a particular way. Unless you exercise your brain, the neurons will feel they are not used, they are useless, so they will die. So see, what happens is, at the age of 5, even though the brain is fully developed, you do not have sufficient knowledge to be able to, and if you, because you do not have sufficient knowledge, these neurons are not sufficiently interconnected amongst each other. So you cannot jump from one neuron to as many neurons as it is possible. The total number of synapses that your brain has is less. At the age of about 10 to 13, जब आप middle school में enter कर रहे होते हो, that is when you already now start to see अच्छा physics. There is something called force. There is something called pressure. There is something called this. There is something called that. Chemistry के अंदर you start to see chemicals. You realize, okay, colors are because of chemicals. You see colors are because of these wavelengths of light. So you're introduced to some concepts. There's some information also available with you for which you can now meld and come up with ideas, which you can extrapolate and come up with ideas. So creativity increases. Even though brain is fully developed, creativity continues to increase until the age of 12 to 13, 14. After that, what happens? Lavanya was mentioning about some pressures that come. Kya pressures and Lavanya?
So academically and like puberty wise, hormones wise, I think so. Like many different things you get together and you have to take care at the same time. So I think a person stops thinking in a more creative way and has to reintegrate themselves more in the natural flow of things that we are taught.
Yeah, so possibly what is happening is, as the hormones kick in, so I'm not sure how many of you have heard Sadhguru, but Sadhguru uses this term that your brain is hijacked by the hormones. As soon as you enter into teenage years, your brain is hijacked by the hormones. And many of us just let it be hijacked for entire lives subsequently. Some of us take control of it after some time. So when the brain gets hijacked by the hormones, then what you want to prove to others is that I am grown up now. मुझे तो अब आता है. A child does not have the quest to prove that he or she is grown up. A child is open. I want to learn. I want to learn. Child is asking why this is happening. But as the hormones hijack the brain, hormones tell, and you pass a judgment or a decree that, okay, I am grown up now. I know I know more than my mother, I know more than my father, I know more than this teacher also who's sitting there. सब बकवास करते हैं, मुझे पता है क्या हो रहा है. Happened with all of us. Happened with me also. Happened with you also.
Yes, sir.
किसके
So
साथ
I
नहीं
think,
हुआ?
yes, sir.
Anyone who has
believe
not
that
experienced this, that I am grown up and now बाकी लोग तो बकवास कर रहे हैं. All of us think like that. And what does this do? This closes our brain to new ideas. Because in reality, this is huge cosmos. What do we know? Nothing. Do you even know how an ant walks? The motion, ant has 8 legs, huh? How does it coordinate its 8 legs to walk? Do you even know that? No. We don't even know an ant. We say we know everything. That is where the problem comes. We become closed.
So I have one question to this. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, Bhima.
So the creativity that you are talking about, is this like natural creativity or the artificial creativity?
So this uses of baking soda, was this natural creativity or artificial creativity?
No. I'm talking about in terms of like, let's say you told that until 12 and 13. So like the child or like he or she doesn't have that sense of like, I need to prove myself to in from the other people.
This
So
is a
it's kinds
hypothesis.
of the
This is a hypothesis I am throwing, Biman. Okay.
Okay.
But yes, the fact is, like there have been multiple studies which have shown that it peaks at 12 to 13 and then it starts to fall.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because the creativity can be like anyone can be at any stage of life, like because he gain the knowledge and get the creative like in different fields.
So you will see this course is about becoming coming up with creative solutions.
Okay.
I'm more than 40 years of age. So I'm saying I am creative. So obviously, I'm not saying that you cannot be creative if you are more than 13 or 14 years of age. That is not the intent. This is just that we understand what is happening. Because once we understand what is happening, then we can consciously take some actions to prevent falling into the same traps as regular people fall into. Is that okay, Viman?
Yes, got it.
Samir, if you have a question, you want to add something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a doubt that what is the difference between knowledge and creativity? Because as you asked the question that what are the uses of baking soda? So one student said that he has used it for washing, for cleaning his shoes. Now I came up with only 3 to 4 uses only, which I have used in my life. So isn't that something a person knows from when it's a knowledge acquired from its surroundings? So how is creativity different from knowledge?
You tell me. Okay, what do you think? How is creativity different from knowledge? I asked you in the last tranche of 30 seconds, I asked you, what is the texture of baking soda?
So yeah, texture is powdery substance, white colored.
So if I say there is a white powder, how many different ways can you use a white powder? You could list down all those ways, nahi?
Yeah, true. But again, there, for example, again, isn't this hindered with knowledge? For example, a 5th grade student has written here, mixing the baking soda with red dye and gargle it. Now, what if ingesting large amounts of baking soda may be hazardous to health? So a person by chance while gargling may ingest and get sick.
Yeah. So again, don't worry. We're not looking at, so okay. This is the right point when we need to now look at what is boosting our creativity and what is killing our creativity. Do we do that? As a class, can we all just brainstorm on what are the creativity enhancers and what are the creativity blockers for us? So you see my screen now? There's this screen with center term creativity booster. So this is called a mind map. How many of you have seen mind maps earlier? I remember
have.
a few of you had mentioned that you have seen a mind map earlier. So mind maps are tools to organize our thoughts in a similar way as they are organized in our brains. So school biology, we saw there are neurons, and neurons have those dendrons through which they connect to other neurons. Remember? Dendrites.
Yeah.
So what is happening? There is a neuron, and it is connecting in a star kind of a fashion to many other ideas, to many other neurons. So if we organize ideas and place them in a similar manner, what happens is we come up with a mind map. And it is very easy to remember or recollect what is written in the mind map or refresh anything when we write it in the form of a mind map. It is very easy to brainstorm and build upon a mind map. So in this course, we will actually use mind maps pretty often. So this tool that I'm using over here is called Xmind. Okay, you can download the mind mapping tool from their website called xmind.net. Okay. In fact, I am also posting on the Google Classroom right away so that you don't forget to it. Okay. I will post it after the class today so that you can download it. So in this, let us see how to build or create a mind map. We're talking about creativity boosters. When we were doing this exercise, baking soda exercise, what helped you come up with new ideas? What helped you come up with ideas that you came up with?
Whatever we learned as a child.
Our previous knowledge.
Your knowledge. The knowledge helped you. How did it help you? It gave you seeds. What else? What else helped us to come up with more ideas?
So to basically think in some other direction on how we can use that.
Okay, so let us say flexibility.
Yeah.
So find other directions or other ways of doing things. Okay. What else?
So unique experiences.
Okay, uniqueness. Each one of us has lived life differently, so uniqueness. Okay. In terms of experiences.
So we can try some experimentations based on numbers.
Yeah,
with some experiments we can be more precise and more clear.
Okay.
So by evaluating the properties of the tool itself, let's say baking soda, it can be used as a fire extinguisher when it gives out CO2.
Okay, so we can put that in knowledge itself.
Yes.
Basically, properties, constraints, etc. किसी भी situation में when we want to be more creative and come up with ideas, then there is another thing, value. Let us say, many of us thought that okay, using baking soda as a dish cleaning material or something like that, so knowledge, flexibility, uniqueness, value, all these things, value that we associate with something. So those of us who thought that baking soda is only about baking, is only a baking material, they came up with just one or two. But when we saw, okay, it's like a white powder. Okay, white powder to bahut sari jagah use sakta hai. Where all do we use white powders? So for example, making a rangoli. White powder. So what? It may be costly, it may be whatever, but it's finally white powder. Things like that. So you see, without knowledge, you will not be creative. Without flexibility, without being open to other people's ideas, without being ready to accept other people's ideas, you will not be able to be creative. Uniqueness, again, valuing that you have been through some life experiences, and similarly other people have also been through their life experiences. They may have unique ideas, so we build upon each other's ideas. मैंने क्या कहा था? Okay, as a group we now already have these many, so each one of you should have more than 20 ideas now. So you could build upon other people's experiences. They had unique experiences, you did not have them. You build upon that and you can generate more ideas. And yeah, Saurabh, you have a question?
Yes, sir. I want to ask that isn't value associated just another property of an item? Like value is something we assign to as a property to an object or idea.
But that may not be really knowledge actually. है ना? We find it valuable, therefore, suppose I say sand. Sand you may not consider to be very valuable. So you may not want to spend too much time and energy on finding its uses. However, if you are an electronics engineer and you know all chips are made out of sand, silicon, you will say, oh, sand, wow, I can think of so many things I could do with sand. I could purify the sand and do so much.
So, but isn't value just a knowledge of its properties? Like if we are like keenly aware of the properties of the object, then we are actually aware of what is its value. So isn't that
yeah, we can say that. We can say that also. No problems. Yeah. No problems. We can say that also. But do we understand that to be creative, we need to be flexible, we need to value uniqueness of ourselves and of other people's experiences, and we need to have some basic knowledge. Do you understand this much?
Yeah, yes.
Now, if we look at, okay, let me just save this and I can share that with the class later. Now, if I have to look at creativity obstacles. You're not able to see the creativity obstacles screen, am I right?
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Just give me a moment. Okay, mind map, Xmind. Are you able to see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What stopped us from coming up with new ideas?
So our preconceived notions of how a certain thing should be used.
You see, knowledge again. Sorry. Sorry.
Sir, if I may, actually, so one thing I noticed in this activity was, at least in my sense, when I was thinking about the uses of baking soda, I was trying to think back to what we were taught in school, right? What we had learned about its properties and applications. And I didn't think beyond that, that, for example, when you said that what's the texture of the baking soda, that's a white powder. But I didn't look at it as a white powder. I was only looking at it like as a chemical which has its own industrial uses. So I think just restricting yourself to bookish knowledge is one thing which kills creativity.
And I would say, इसी के अंदर, I use the term white powder. Why did I use it? Because आप लोग अभी तक उसको white powder नहीं देख रहे थे, आप उसको baking soda ही देख रहे थे. I consciously chose different words. So let us say expressive blocks. So you have to try and express whatever subject or whatever problem statement is in different ways. If you do not do that, you will be blocked in that expression itself. Oh, the expression says only this much. And you'll be limited to those expressions only. Using different language to describe the problem can actually help you find other solutions to the same problem.
So in my case, I restricted myself to certain level of abstractions. Likewise, what I considered like it is used in cooking. it is used in experimenting things, it is used in medical uses, and likewise in some eating purposes or not. So I abstracted all things. I didn't went into further in this into this topic.
आपने नॉलेज एज्यूम, आपकी एक नॉलेज का बेस था आपके पास, और हमने जो भी बात करी, हार्मोन्स किक्ड इन, आई नो एवरीथिंग, दिस इज इट, आई डोंट वांट टू गो बियॉन्ड दिस, और दिस इज सेफ. हैज इट हैपेंड विद यू? Oh, if I say this use, then others will laugh at me. Emotional blocks. I will feel bad about it. Has it happened?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
As
sir,
you said,
yes.
white powder, I thought of using it on carom boards, but then I thought that it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, fears of what others would say will sound stupid. And
so not just stupid, but maybe childish.
Okay, others will laugh at me.
Yeah.
Might look childish. Okay, let's put it like that. What else?
समथिंग इलीगल, जैसे कि मैंने सोचा कि मैं अडल्ट्रेशन करके उसको साल्ट की जगह यूज कर सकता हूँ.
Okay. Let us say perceptual blocks. Where we say that some legal perceptions that we may have, legal limitations. We perceive there is a limitation, boundaries that may or may not exist. हम थोड़ा ना अभी उसको यूज कर रहे हैं, हम तो खाली imagine कर रहे हैं what all ways it could be used. We're not saying we are using it already. Did we say?
Following predefined ways.
वही knowledge में आ जाएगा.
Sir, also since you are mentioning knowledge, so we also can say that lack of knowledge of a particular substance also limit us from saying that.
हाँ, वो तो हमने देखो बूस्टर्स के समय देखा था ना कि नॉलेज कुछ तो चाहिए, तो वो नहीं होगी तो बूस्ट ही नहीं होगी क्रिएटिविटी. लैक ऑफ नॉलेज भी लिख देते हैं. सो नॉलेज इज अ डबल एज्ड स्वॉर्ड. रियलाइज दिस. ऑल ऑफ अस ऑलवेज थिंक दैट नॉलेज इज जितनी इंफॉर्मेशन हमने कलेक्ट कर ली हम उतने स्मार्ट हो गए. नहीं, दैट इज द यूजुअल थॉट प्रोसेस. Whereas knowledge actually also kills creativity. So Pranay is saying that okay about so friends अभी क्या हो रहा है, आप आधे लोग बोल रहे हैं और आधे लोग इधर लिख रहे हैं, चैट विंडो में लिख रहे हैं, आई एम मिसिंग आउट ऑन सम आइडियाज. So I would say when we are in this interactive mode, please unmute and speak. So knowledge indeed is a double-edged sword. ठीक है. Then what else can we say? Can we talk about cultural blocks? यहाँ तो हमारे यहाँ तो ऐसे ही होता है.
Yes,
Yes,
social
sir.
norms.
Yes, sir, definitely. That's
This is how it is done here.
So can we call it social norms?
Yeah.
Or traditional blocks, like it's a tradition. It's the way it is.
It's our tradition. हम ऐसे ही करेंगे. Then when you are thinking like that, तो आप बहुत सारे options को close ही कर देते हो. You're not even exploring those options. So expressive blocks में language की बात आ गई, diagrams. So when you know आपके जो diagrams हो सकते हैं वही restrictive हो सकते हैं. Suppose आपने कोई circuit, आपने कोई problem solve करनी है, आपने circuit को पूरी डिटेल में बनाया ही नहीं, आपने बस उसको एक black box की तरह बना दिया. So many solutions that could have come if you had made the entire full circuit diagram there would not even appear in the picture now. Then there is another very big thing which is a block. It is called not invented here syndrome.
So there might be a lack of resources. Like someone might have some idea, but he doesn't have the resources to like actually.
Yeah. So that I would put in as a perceived lack of resources, है ना?
Sir,
when we are thinking, so what is happening? What is happening is that while I only asked you to come up with as many uses, whether those uses are possible, not possible, whether उसके अंदर जैसे one person said ज्यादा baking soda अगर मैंने gargle करते हुए खा लिया तो मेरे को side effects हो सकते हैं, I can get medically ill, whatever. So who is saying we do that? अभी तो हम खाली brainstorm कर रहे हैं ना. It is coming up with ideas. So this is one big problem. Because we start to know more things, Or we start to worry about more things. We start to perceive more boundaries. We already cut short ideas while they are still in the nascent stage. I was talking about not invented here syndrome. I think we very evidently experienced it over here. We saw there were 22 ideas at least, which each one of you should have written. हमने क्लास में 22 ideas अभी बोले, सबने बोले. You could have easily written those 22 ideas. But not a single person in this class had finally more than 20 ideas. Why? You thought ये तो उसका idea है, ये मैं कैसे use कर लूं? No. When we are brainstorming, we should pick up anything and everything. Now, if it may happen that someone else has patented it, then the problem for us is, okay, this is a good solution, but the problem is this solution is already used. Now my problem becomes how to change this solution or how to improve this solution. You see, you change the problem statement altogether. But if you would not accept other people's ideas, then you are basically handling only the big problem yourself, all alone. Are you able to see this? Oh, so not invented here syndrome is hidden behind my face. That is why you're not able to see this. Yeah, please. Question. I heard there was a question.
Sir, extreme planning will also lead to less creativity.
I'm sorry?
Extreme planning.
Yes. You know, very good. When we create these boundaries of plan, मेरे plan में तो वो time है ही नहीं, है ना? So this could mean planning also.
So this would also include prematurely thinking about how it would be done and how the resources of it would be achieved, and that's why not fully thinking about how it what could we do.
Yeah, assumptions.
Yeah.
है ना? So we assume so many things. You have to drop those assumptions. In fact, you have to drop assumptions which stop us from thinking more. We should choose assumptions which let us think more. अरे ठीक है, मुझे पता है अभी नहीं होता. अभी there is no solution to this particular challenge. But there could be a situation where this situation doesn't even arise. You know, many times, you know, when I have so much of a design experience myself. So many times what happened was that, you know, we would come up with a solution. And someone in the team would say, but Anuj, this will not work in that setting. My simple question used to be, okay, who is the customer here? Will he ever use the product in that kind of a setting? If he's never going to use the product in that setting, then by not offering this very cheap solution to him, we are doing injustice to him. Let us define a new boundary of the product itself. Let us say this product will not work there, but now this product is 1/10 the cost.
So,
yes,
like we often associate creativity with thinking out of the box. So, does that fall under the boundaries category? We create some boundaries for ourselves, which we never try to cross or pass.
Yeah. Very true.
So maybe always trying to be optimal can also be a creativity obstacle.
Yes. See, भाई जितने भी हमने यहाँ पे lack of resources कह दिया, कुछ भी कह दिया, all these are boundaries that we have created. है ना? Boundary on the product should be usable or not, something like that. अरे अभी तो ideas है ना? Let the ideas come. Don't filter them right away.
Not prematurely thinking about the market for that product as well.
Yeah, that also. अभी तो हम बेकिंग सोडा के यूजेस कह रहे थे, मार्केट की तो बात ही नहीं आ रही थी, फिर भी हम उसको काट रहे थे, है ना? So these are imaginary boundaries.
Sir, also one more thing could be like if we are unable to define or identify a particular problem. So here we are going from product to solving a problem. But if there is a problem where baking soda could be used to solve that problem and we are unable to identify that problem, then in that case also it could be
So we will do many brainstorming exercises. So we will see that we'll cover all kinds of things. For example, this is how many users of an existing solution that you have. We started with baking soda because all of you know baking soda. But once you go back to your product teams, research groups, this is a very simple question you ask. How many users of this solution can be there? I have this solution. Where all can I proliferate it? As a startup, you would want to ask this question. Na? What all can be my possible markets? Are you able to see this? I have asked a very simple question, but you simply modify the same question and it's the same format. You can find answers to it. In fact, let's do an exercise. Let's do a small exercise of similar kind. Ready?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir.
So baking soda, we already saw that there was this group of students who said that we will gargle. We will mix red dye in it, gargle, and act as if we have rabies. So we also amongst us looked at what could be the creativity boosters and what could be the creativity obstacles. Many things we talked about: cultural, intellectual, knowledge, perceptual, expressive, many blocks we talked about. Now, as we go into this session, I want you to do this. We are entering into a brainstorming session now. So we are slightly late for it because we had more discussions, but at least I thought we should get introduced to at least 1 or 2 methods of brainstorming. It's already 3rd lecture. Abhi tak aapko nahi pata lagega to aapko lagega course bekar hai. So when we now enter this brainstorming session, remember these rules. Whenever you sit for brainstorming, be open to different perspectives. Be ready to generate as many options. Whether they work or not, we will not worry about it. Okay? Even if you're not getting ideas, just keep on writing, do something. Okay? Come up with whatever you can. Don't think about what others will talk about it. Don't, forget the fear of failure, forget the fear of ridicule. Okay? Get as many ideas. Try to find positives of a solution instead of limitations. Try to look at the positives. ओ ये हम इससे करते हैं ऑलरेडी करते हैं लेकिन क्या उससे भी कर सकते हैं ऑल्टरनेटिव्स के लिए ओपन हो जाएं आप ठीक है टेम्पररीली सस्पेंड ऑल द रूल्स एंड कंडीशंस फॉर प्रॉब्लम्स एंड सॉल्यूशंस यूज प्रोवोकेटिव क्वेश्चंस फॉर योरसेल्फ व्हाट इफ टू गो बियॉन्ड दीज ब्लॉक्स जो हमने बाउंड्रीज वाले ब्लॉक्स कहे या कुछ भी कहे एंड प्लीज गेट आउट ऑफ दिस नॉट इन्वेंटेड हियर सिंड्रोम Adopt other people's viewpoints, defer judgment, do not judge others' ideas. In fact, build upon others' ideas. Can we do that?
Sir, I have one question to the last point.
Yeah, please.
So you told that we always have to accept the other's idea. So for example, for baking soda case, when I propose that, okay, so I will put huge amount of baking soda to my hand and gargle. So other people will tell that, okay, so it's just childish because it's going to affect your health actually. So are you going to listen to his idea and simply throw out, or you are going to accept that idea or try to work on it?
So when we are in a brainstorm session, we do not throw out anything.
Okay.
We accept everything and we build further upon it. जैसे तुमने गार्गल वाला आइडिया लिया था और बच्चों ने उसी को फर्दर बिल्ड करा ना, उसके अंदर रेड डाई करके करूंगा और फिर उसको रेबीज का शो करूंगा.
अच्छा, okay. But eventually it is going to affect your health, right?
How does it matter? अभी हम आइडियाज की बात कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
We will not enter into that market, but at least go ahead.
Got it. Yeah.
At least go ahead. Don't filter anything now. In a brainstorming, in a divergence session. So we are diverging, we are generating ideas. Okay. We have one idea, small idea, one problem. We are generating as many ideas around it as possible. In a divergence session, no filters.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Whether it will work or not, we will look at it later. उसके लिए बहुत टाइम है हमारे पास कोर्स में. पहले आइडिया जनरेट तो करो. Go for quantity.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Now, what we'll do is we'll go into breakout rooms. As soon as you go into the breakout room, identify a leader amongst yourself. Okay. What should the leader do? Leader should immediately prefix the breakout room number before their name. For example, you are in room number 10. So the leader should prefix their name, rename themselves as 10_Anuj, for example. Okay. And as soon as you rename, come back to the main room. I want all the leaders of the breakout room to be back in the main room within 3 minutes of entering into the breakout rooms. Okay. I will give the instructions of what you have to do inside the breakout room only to the leaders there. While the leaders are outside, आप लोग जो बाकी लोग breakout room में हैं, you identify one person amongst yourself or two people amongst yourself who are called scribes. Okay. You will consolidate and list all the ideas finally. The leaders will come back to the room, explain what needs to be done, and then you will brainstorm. The leaders will come back and tell you the problem also, which problem you guys need to brainstorm on. Okay. And then finally, just take 5 minutes to consolidate all those ideas into a list. Mind map अभी आपने tool नहीं लिया होगा, सबके पास नहीं होगा tool, but at least list them down, consolidate them into one list. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Great.
Sir.
So I will now split us into breakout rooms. Amir, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will make you the host, right? And we will go into breakout rooms. So each breakout room will now have 6 to 7 participants, and we will brainstorm there. Okay, we are in total going to be 10 breakout rooms. Please join your breakout rooms and identify a leader quickly. Anisha, Anuj, Arham, Sambhav, Shubham, Ritik, please join your breakout rooms. Shubham, Arham.
So how to rename the breakout rooms?
No, you don't rename the breakout rooms. You just rename yourself. Your name should be a breakout room number underscore your name, like Priyansh and Samiksha have done.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm from room number 6, so I'll be the team leader.
Yeah. Please rename yourself as 6_Rachit, please.
Sure.
So we don't have anyone from room number 3, 4 yet. Three, 4, 8, 9, 10. So Sanskar, rename yourself as 4_Sanskar. Amir, can you please go to the rooms and insist that room number 3, 8, 10 also send their leaders back?
Sure, so 3, 8, 10.
Yeah. 3 से अभी कोई बाहर नहीं आया.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So how can I rename the breakout room like to the?
You don't need to rename the breakout room, Biman. You just rename yourself.
Okay. So,
put your name as 9_Biman. You're in room number 9, na?
Yes, room number 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sure.
Okay, Rishabh, which room are you from?
Okay. So room 8.
So please, apna 8_Rishabh rename kar lo. Okay, so we have people from all the rooms now. There are many rooms which have less than 5 or 6 participants. We will follow one technique. Rooms which have more than 6 participants, we will follow the other technique. Okay. So आपको क्या करना है? Once you go back to your breakout room, you have to So in the breakout room, you have to do this, that. My PPT has got stuck. आ गया. Sorry. Okay, so rooms which have more than 6 people, you use a technique called trigger session. Now, problem for all of you, the problem statement that all of you have to solve is identify as many users of AI and machine learning for social good. Something like technology for social good. As many ways which you can apply AI for social good. That is the problem statement. Each one of the breakout rooms, each one of the teams has to solve. Okay. Now there are 2 techniques. The first technique is trigger session, which all of you, all those rooms will use which have more than 6 people there. What does this technique mean? This technique says that all of you will spend 1 minute to list down your ideas independently. आप सब लोग बैठेंगे एक-एक करके अपने सारे सब लोग एक-एक मिनट लेके अपने आइडियाज लिखेंगे, just like we did for the baking soda thing. Then one by one, each one of you will speak out your ideas. Others will strike out ideas which were common, and if by looking at someone else's idea they get a new idea, they add that new idea into their list. समझ में आया? Baking soda के लिए, for example, the first person said use of volcanoes, use of baking soda in volcano experiments. So all the people in your team who may have written the same use would strike out. They will not repeat the same idea again. But अब use of baking soda as volcanoes या use of baking soda as rangoli material, उसको सुन के अगर आपको 4 और आइडियाज आते हैं तो आप वो 4 आइडियाज अपनी लिस्ट में ऐड कर देंगे. Is that clear? So initially 1 minute, everyone thinks and writes ideas. Then one person reads out his or her ideas. Others score out ideas which are common. Score out matlab cancel. And they write new ideas. Once the list of first person is all done, we go to the second person. And we say second person बोलेगा और जितने भी बाकी लोग हैं, they will score out their ideas, common ideas, and write new ideas. And we go round robin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 के बाद you come back to 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We do one such cycle. Okay. And in moving from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, you don't need to wait at all. 1 की list खत्म होते ही 2 शुरू हो जाएगा, फिर 3 शुरू हो जाएगा. Others will start to write ideas. Now, when 2 is speaking, even 1 will write more ideas because 1 की बारी फिर से आनी है यहाँ पे. Is this clear? Any questions?
Can you repeat the problem statement once?
The problem statement is use of AI for social good. Use of AI for social good. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So Amir, can you please post the Google? So what Amir will do now is he will post the link to a Google Sheet. You can copy that Google Sheet in your area, okay, and then use that for your. So that's a template. What Amir will share is a template. You can copy that in your area, and your team can use the copy that you've made in your local area. Okay.
So can you repeat the last method? What you just said about that we'll be doing?
So Amir will share a template in which you can generate ideas, in which you can write ideas. You can use that template. So that template is non-editable. That is not editable for you guys. You can simply copy it in your area and then use it. Okay. Now I'm coming to the second technique, which is called 635. So Priyan's second technique is the one which is to be used by teams which have 6 or fewer people. Okay. What does 635 technique mean? 635 means that if there are 6 or fewer people in a team, they will write down only 3 ideas in their sheet for now. So person 1 will write 3 ideas in his sheet, person 2 will write 3 ideas in his sheet, person 3 will write his ideas in his sheet. And only 3 ideas. Now, once you've written 3 ideas in your sheet, you go to second person's sheet. Again, in a kind of a round robin manner. One will go to second person sheet, second person will go to third person sheet, and so on. You read what all ideas are listed above there. Okay. So in the fourth cycle, so if at the fourth shift, what would be happening? 3 people have already written 3 ideas each. So there are 9 ideas already existing on the sheet. Now you will add your 3 ideas after this. Okay. Then you go to the next sheet. वहां पे 12 ideas already लिखे हुए होंगे, आप उनको पढ़ें. You may come up with more ideas. You write down your 3 ideas now. New 3 ideas. So don't repeat old ideas. Come up with 3 new ideas in every sheet. So every person will come up with 3 into as many number of people you are in the group. 3 है, 6 लोग हैं तो 18. So 6 people, 3 ideas each. Okay. So that is the 635 technique. Any questions about that?
Idea related to AI for social good?
Yes, they are ideas for AI for social good.
So can you quickly repeat the technique just once again? I mean, I got a little confused.
Which technique? Trigger or 635?
The 635 techniques.
635 is so आपको खाली trigger use करना है प्रियांश. Group 1 में more than 6 people हैं.
Oh, all right, sir. Sorry.
Okay. 635 technique means each person writes 3 ideas, then moves to the second person sheet, reads the ideas that are existing there, then writes 3 more new ideas, then goes to the third person sheet. This way, each person would have written at least 3 ideas in every person's sheet. And overall, we would have collected a lot of ideas there. 5 लोग हैं तो 5 into 3, 15 ideas per person into 5. So 75 ideas you would have there.
So, sir, the person would write in another person's sheet, or he would write considering that sheet in his own sheet? He would write
in other person's sheet. Okay.
So it is confusing, this 635 technique.
So let us say हम मानते हैं यहाँ पे लवप्रीत, आमिर और अनुज 3 लोग हैं एक टीम में. ठीक है. तो लवप्रीत ने अपनी शीट पे गया, उसने 3 आइडियाज लिखे. अनुज ने अपनी शीट पे 3 आइडियाज लिखे, आमिर ने अपनी शीट पे 3 आइडियाज लिखे. नाउ लवप्रीत वेंट टू अनुज शीट. उसने अनुज की शीट पे 3 आइडियाज जो लिखे हुए थे वो पढ़े. एंड ही सेड, ओ इन आइडियाज को सोच के तो मेरे को ये वाला नया आइडिया भी आ गया, या नहीं भी आया, मेरे पास 3 और आइडियाज हैं. वो उसने लवप्रीत ने अनुज वाली शीट पे भी 3 और आइडियाज लिखे. जब लवप्रीत अनुज की शीट पे 3 आइडियाज लिख रहा था तो अनुज क्या कर रहा था? अनुज आमिर की शीट पे था, वहां पे 3 आइडियाज लिख रहा था, और आमिर लवप्रीत की शीट पे था, वहां पे 3 आइडियाज लिख रहा था. देन लवप्रीत ने कहा चलो मेरे अनुज की शीट पे भी 3 आइडियाज हो गए, नाउ आई विल गो टू आमिर शीट. अब वो आमिर की शीट पे जाएगा, ऊपर 6 आइडियाज लिखे हुए हैं, उनको पढ़ेगा, हो सकता है कोई नया आइडिया आए, वो उनको भी वहां पे लिख देगा. तो फाइनली 3 लोग हैं, 3 आइडियाज हर बार लिखे, तीनों लोगों ने 9 आइडियाज लिखे, and we have a total of 27 ideas. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir, yes.
So please go back to your rooms. You have 10 minutes to do the brainstorm and then come back to the main room.
Answer, each person has to go to like 5 other sheets. If we have 6
Samiksha, you
people.
are in group 2. Group 2 has 7
Yes.
people. You have to use trigger.
Oh, sir, but so when I asked, there were only 5 people in the room and I was the 6th.
Okay, now there are 7 people in the room.
Sir,
Oh,
I
okay.
have to download the sheet, then
Yes.
share with
नहीं
them.
तो आप यूज नहीं कर पाएंगे ना.
हाँ, तो उसके बाद मतलब सबके साथ शेयर करना होगा फिर.
Yes. Okay, please.
Okay.
So can you just tell मेरे group में कितने लोग हैं? Last time I checked it was 5, I believe.
Yeah, you have to use 635.
5. Okay, fine.
ये बात समझाने में बहुत देर लग जाती है.
यस सर, ऐसा पॉसिबल है कि अगर क्लास से पहले थोड़ा हम इंस्ट्रक्शंस गूगल क्लासरूम पे डाल दें तो?
Okay, so now that we went through one ideation exercise, how do you feel? What happened there? So let us first hear about 635 groups that did 635. What was your experience? What did you do and what was your experience?
Sir,
You can speak. Yeah.
it was good, sir. So it was good, but as I told you that it is like the first time, so the process was a little bit confusing, and like we like the entire process to understand, and we messed up the entire time actually. But we got very less. But topic was good. We could have got like more idea, but because of this process, we could not do that. But we got some idea actually. But process was good until unless the time was like not sufficient for us. This going and coming.
Okay. So what did you especially like about the process?
The brainstorming session. We are meeting with them like a new student or new friends, then discussing with them and getting some new idea, getting some new point of view from them, which is not coming out from our mind actually.
So you could build upon other people's ideas.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Others who use 635, what was your experience? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it?
So reading someone else's ideas and interpreting it in our own way and then coming up with the new idea regarding it was really interesting. We went through all the different people's ideas, and so someone in my group wrote that AI on borders, maybe replacing soldiers with AI robot, and interpreting it, I wrote that AI in customer care center, because maybe the humans there do not need to be there, and AI would do the better job. Maybe they can please the customers better.
Bots exactly do that, is it not?
Right.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Others?
Yes, basically when like I was getting stuck with how to come up with more ideas, I would just look at some other person, a groupmate sheet, and then improvise on my sheet.
So looking at other people's ideas helped you bypass your psychological inertia.
Yeah, I was actually not thinking in that direction, but after looking at their sheet, I thought that, oh, I could also use it in this way. So then I got more ideas, but it was little time taking, so could not complete the idea list.
So yeah, I would agree upon that fact. Like our particular brain was working in a certain direction. So looking at someone else and they're thinking on a much deeper or or a base level and getting that idea. It's very interesting to see. Okay, I shouldn't be thinking only in one direction.
It helps you open up, and it breaks your boundaries.
Exactly.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Opens up whole new directions of thinking. That's what.
What about triggers? So 65 people. Was there noise in your group?
Yes, sir.
हाँ?
Mainly
65
because
में
of
noise
logistic issue.
और due to logistic. Otherwise 65 में तो noise नहीं होनी चाहिए. You just silently do your work.
No,
You
sir.
could do it sitting in a library. Do you
Yes, sir.
realize this?
Yes, sir. Just pass. Look at when it was written on the sheet. Pass the sheet, but we can in Excel we can directly see the other person's idea and
Yeah,
expand.
you could directly go to the other person's
Yes,
sheet.
sir.
So you could do this 65 sitting even in a library. You could
Yes, sir.
hitchhike on other people's ideas sitting in a library, not talking, but still getting it done. Okay. Now, what about trigger session people? How did you experience it?
So, sir, again, there was a bit time restriction, but yeah, it was a very good experience. So, learning from others how in this direction they are exactly thinking of, and exploring our new ideas on the basis of their ideas also. And further, what I also felt when they gave some idea, then I would able to think much more with respect connected to that. So, yeah, that was my feeling.
Sir, our level of like extent to which we can think actually it broadens. So earlier I was just thinking about armed forces and these things, but one member in my group said like we can use it for predicting earthquakes. Then suddenly I started thinking about all the natural calamities and what we can associate it with. So this is how we also did complete the activity.
Very nice. So you were also able to hitchhike on other people's ideas. What about the noise level in your groups? Trigger session people? Was it noisy and boisterous? Not yet.
No, sir. No.
Noisy नहीं था. ये कैसा trigger session हुआ?
Sir, but we have to come up with some, I wouldn't say innovative, but different ideas. Let's say, suppose using surrounding noises to create music using AI, something like that, or
Wow.
using, let's say, abstract images to create a picture, something like that. Or
wow, very nice. But there must have been some noise in the group itself, huh? Nahi. When one person is speaking, so you cannot, at least 65 you cannot use in a library. इतनी noise थी या इतनी भी नहीं थी?
So the instruction said to do it silently, so I guess everyone did it silently.
नहीं, तो पहला 1 minute silent है, उसके बाद तो one will speak out their ideas, ना?
And the others will silently cross out the ideas.
Silently cross out the ideas. So no one of you exclaimed also, oh shit, ये भी गया. No one exclaimed like this. Huh?
No, we didn't discuss much. Like we just, okay, that's their idea. And
बहुत शरीफ बच्चे हैं आप सब.
We are silently listening to each other.
हाँ, okay, नहीं, वो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. You have to listen, otherwise सुनोगे नहीं तो काटोगे नहीं. बट कुछ तो एक्सक्लेमेशन हो सकते थे, बट ठीक है, ऑनलाइन है तो हम म्यूट पे होंगे तो इसलिए औरों को सुनाई भी नहीं देगा. बट फिजिकल मीटिंग्स में जब ये करा जाता है, ट्रिगर सेशन यूजुअली यूज्ड टू, अरे यार ये भी चला गया आइडिया, यार तूने क्यों बोला, यू नो, दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग हैपेंस एंड इट्स अ वेरी फन थिंग. सो trigger is both of these ideas, both of these techniques you would have realized are hitchhiking on other people's ideas. If you are in a setting where you cannot make noise and where, for example, there are people of different stature. For example, suppose I was also sitting alongside you in a brainstorm session. What would happen? There would be a different kind of fear of ridicule that will come in your mind. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You will think about, yeah, what will this person think? What will that person think? But when I am not there, then there is a completely different kind of an abandon. है ना? So when there are people of different levels coming into a picture, जैसे आप अगर एक टीम में जाते हैं और आपके जो प्रोफेसर हैं वो भी रहते हैं और जो PhD स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो भी रहते हैं और आप भी रहते हैं, and all of you do a brainstorm session together, I would suggest that you use 635 technique. इसमें क्या होगा कि आपने बस साइलेंटली लिख दिया, कोई शोर शराबा नहीं, unless yes there is a different level of comfort with your research guide. शोर शराबा नहीं, कोई कुछ भी लिख सकता है. There is nothing like ये तो बॉस ने कहा है तो ये तो बात सबने माननी है. Trigger session is more about when it's a playful group. When it's a playful group, then you can go for trigger session. When it's a very little formal group, you can use 635. And the results you will realize are very similar. So अभी आप लोग क्या करेंगे, आप लोग इन आइडियाज को कंसोलिडेट करके you will post them on Google Classroom. So Amir will create a repository where you will just upload this. ठीक है, you will create an assignment जहाँ पे आप लोग 10 लोग जो हैं scribes, जो 10 scribes हैं, you will upload this in that repository. Please remember to mention the names of other team members who were there. नहीं भी याद है तो भी चलेगा, एटलीस्ट scribes अपना नाम वहां लिखें कि ये मैंने बनाई है फाइल. ठीक है, if you upload it in that region, लीडर का नाम लिख दें एटलीस्ट, लीडर एंड स्क्राइब जो 2 रोल्स आइडेंटिफाई करे गए थे, ये हर शीट में नाम होना चाहिए. You can upload this in that area. And also importantly identify, bold कर देना या identify कर लेना कि ये ideas जो हैं they are really good. As an institute we can take up these ideas as research projects, or we could think of a startup around this idea, we could think of this. तो जो ऐसे कुछ ideas होंगे उनको आप bold भी कर सकते हो. So scribes, you have to do this and submit it in the classroom. Is that okay? Any questions?
Sir, we were doing the 635 and we were not able to complete the whole table due to time constraints.
अब कर लेना, Google Sheet ही तो share करा होगा ना?
हाँ,
तो अभी कर लो, कोई problem नहीं है.
ठीक है. Okay.
But you got the taste of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what I wanted. ठीक है, चलिए. Anything else?
So we have to submit it in classroom, right?
Yeah, Amir will create an assignment. You can submit it there.
All of us need to submit it, or just the group leader can do it?
No, just the group scribe.
Okay.
The group scribe.
The group scribe does it, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Shanvi, you have a question?
No, sir, it got solved. I was about like the group leader and the scribe. So the scribe will be posting the session.
Yeah, the scribe will do it. Okay, but please mention the group leader's name there.
For sure, sir.
On
Yes.
the sheet itself. Okay. So thank you, friends. We will meet on Saturday now, 4 to 5:20 p.m. as we discussed in the beginning of the class. And I will also post the recording of this in the Google Classroom and on YouTube, and then subsequently, obviously, in Google Classroom. So those of you who have not subscribed, you will get to see the video a little later than it is posted on YouTube, but you will anyway see it. Or you can subscribe to my channels and you can get access to it immediately as soon as I upload it there. Okay. Thank you, guys, and see you on Saturday then.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, not as a class on Saturday, but I have my office hours starting in next 20 minutes. So see you in the next 20 minutes. Those of you if you have any questions.
So we just have to upload that Google Sheet there, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amir will
Thank you,
put the instructions there. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sir,
All the
and
best.
both the scribes have to submit a single sheet or different sheet? Like
One sheet. One
okay,
group
sir.
has done one list now. Yeah.
Okay.
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 Yeah. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you just wait for 1 minute, sir? I wanted to discuss something.
Sure.
Okay, sir. Then I'll just wait for others to leave.